We were warned before taking on a human crew member. Something about their biology being radically different from every known life form. Of course, we'd worked with unusual species before, so we didn't think too much of it. We needed an engineer who could handle extreme heat environments, and the human had impeccable credentials. When they arrived, I could hardly tell their gender, or even if their species had such distinctions. Their environment suit hid every possible clue. Perhaps they were hermaphroditic, or something else unusual. They were polite, quiet, and hard-working. Just a small figure tinkering with machinery, never complaining. They asked for a hangar bay to be converted into a biosphere pod, explaining they needed a habitat like their home planet. That wasn't unheard of. Some species breathed exotic gases or required strange atmospheric mixtures. We assumed it was something of that sort. At least this human didn't drip corrosive acid everywhere or need to mate every rotation, or, stars forbid, explode under certain conditions. For the first part of the journey, the human was actually the most manageable crew member I'd ever hired. They just went about their duties, fixing plasma injectors, testing couplings, and tinkering with power systems. If anything, I was grateful. No drama, no fuss. Then came the game of Paradox Forstian Draw, a friendly pastime among the crew. Some of the others invited the human to join. The human agreed, joined us at the gaming table, and for a while, everything went smoothly. Until they opened a pressurized container labeled with a compound name that sent chills through my membranes. Dihydrogen monoxide. Water. The strongest poison known to every civilization we've encountered. A substance so corrosive, so deadly, that the slightest droplet can kill most life forms. I saw the entire crew tense up. Some tried not to show it, but we all knew what that label meant. The human, however, seemed utterly relaxed. They plugged the container into their suit and, through the suit's tiny speaker, murmured, "Ah, I needed a drink of water." We nearly fainted. This creature was nonchalantly ingesting the universe's most toxic substance. The human noticed nothing strange. After a moment's stunned silence, I managed to whisper, "You need to drink that often?" The human shrugged and said, "Yes, it quenches my thirst. I'd prefer alcohol, but water's better for keeping a clear head during a game." Alcohol, another notorious toxin. We were reeling inside, but we kept up appearances. The game resumed, though I doubt anyone's heart was truly in it. We were all too busy sweating ammonia or hydrogen fluoride, anything to express our panic quietly. The human remained oblivious, finishing their water and playing the game calmly. Afterwards, the crew gave the human a wide berth. I looked into what the human was replicating at the ship's fabricators. To my horror, I found that they regularly consumed not only water but alcohol as well, and even sprinkled their food with capsaicin dust, a Class 3 chemical weapon by interspecies standards. Shocked, I researched human biology in detail. The more I learned, the more I was chilled. They use water as a primary solvent. Water, a substance considered lethally poisonous by every known race. Their bodies produce natural combat drugs called adrenaline and endorphins. Their physiology grants them immunity to most chemical and biological weapons known in the galaxy. They breathe oxygen, a highly reactive gas, fueling flames and reactions that would kill most species instantly. This same living bioweapon casually worked as an engineer, never once displaying hostility or malice. I decided to warn the crew while the human slept. I told them, "Avoid provoking the human. Don't tamper with their biosphere or personal equipment." They all agreed. None of us wanted to see what would happen if we angered them. But there are always fools. 2 crew members, too ignorant or too curious, attempted to breach the human's biosphere. They believed it was a fortress hiding secret weapons. As soon as they sliced into it, a blast of scorching hot air like the human's homeworld, and deadly water vapor spewed forth. I found their corpses later, distorted, scalded, partially dissolved by contact with that poisonous substance. My eyes ache remembering that sight. The rest of the journey was silent. The humans said nothing, only kept to their repairs and calibrations. The crew scattered whenever the human approached. No one dared provoke the creature who could survive on lethal poison and turn our strongest toxins into mere condiments. When we finally reached port, we paid the human their due wages, just like everyone else. Without a word, they left, heading off to find work on another ship, one crewed by silicate-based life forms from what I saw. I took their new captain aside, gave a quiet warning. Your new human recruit has unusual biology. I didn't tell the full tale. Who would believe it? A species that thrives on deadly poison and breathes flaming gas. Even if they looked it up, who could truly accept the truth? Truth, they say, is stranger than fiction, and in truth, humans are warm, poisonous beings who consume chemical weapons as food. A race that thrives on what we consider lethal. A race that can board our ships, fix our engines, and walk away smiling, even as we quake in terror at the mere sight of their water. I can only hope the next crew that takes this human aboard handles them with respect.